Hey, Tim Sykes here. I hope you're having a good long holiday weekend. Remember that the market is closed tomorrow. But I just wanted to go over this kind of new environment that has been happening the past few days. And so I have four lessons. The first lesson is patience pays the most over time. A lot of you guys are new and girls, and you don't really understand when is there a good market to trade, when is there a bad market to trade. The past few days have been rather slow. We have not been seeing these 100, 200, 300, 500% winners in a day like we saw in January and December. So you have to make a little note of that and you need to adjust. Too many traders do not adjust. Too many traders don't even recognize it. We're working on some tools for stocks to trade, the software that I think is really going to help you. We're working on some stuff to help you understand the different markets. But long story short, right now, the past few days, really the past 2 weeks, there just has not been that many penny stock plays. And it's because the overall market is shaky. Bitcoin is down, the weed stocks are down. A lot of what was hot a few weeks ago and a few months ago is no longer hot. You see me get more aggressive when there are a ton of plays, when there are multi-day and multi-week patterns that have been set up. So while there might be some plays here or there, there's no real multi-day or multi-week setups like I like right now. And that's why you see I've been trading less. I've been trading smaller. I've been in kind of patience mode. And it's not because I'm not looking, it's just because I know how to adapt. And I encourage you to do the same. The good news is it gives you more time to study and go out and live. I said this on my challenge webinar Friday morning. I had an overnight trade in Kodak, but it didn't really go anywhere, so I cut losses quickly. Probably even forced that trade a little bit, but I just wanted to give it a shot just in case. I'll be more aggressive heading into Friday mornings. Friday mornings are usually when you see the biggest speculative spikers. But long story short, learn to wait for only the absolute best setups. Patience and sitting on your hands, sitting in cash, waiting for a really solid play is very difficult. You have money in your accounts, you want to trade, you want to grow it, you want to learn, you want to practice. I get it. But trading irrelevant and choppy patterns will not help you learn. It'll help you get frustrated and it'll help you lose. So trust me when I say wait for the absolute best setups. If you don't know what the absolute best setups are, then you should be studying more. I have 5,000 plus video lessons. A lot of them talk about what are the best setups. I've narrowed it down from morning spikes to morning dips to afternoon ramps. There's a whole bunch of different plays. And when there is no play, I know a lot of you guys are depressed. You're like, but there's nothing to trade. What am I going to do? Go back through history and study. I'll tell you that 90 to 95% of my students aren't even prepared if there was a perfect play right now because you haven't been studying the past. 90% of traders lose. Remember that? Academic study after study has shown this. And it's due to a lack of preparation. It's due to a lack of planning. It's due to a lack of studying. If you think of the stock market as a battlefield, which I do, you want to come to the battlefield armed with as many tactics and strategies and the best weapons possible. You don't want to come to a gunfight armed only with a knife, which is, in terms of knowledge, what a lot of you guys are armed with. You don't have the proper training yet, and it's because you haven't studied the past enough. You think, oh, it's just about hot stock picks. That's what's going to make you rich. No, it is preparation. I can make another analogy where, we're watching the Olympics right now, and these Olympians have trained for years just for these events that last seconds or minutes. And the preparation that they put in, the pressure that they put on themselves, the whole effort between them and their team, between their parents, their friends, their coaches, their towns, it's just a ridiculous effort. And it's all geared towards the Olympics, which is a beautiful thing, a positive thing. Some of them win, some of them don't. But if you start to think of like that you are an Olympic athlete or that you are in training. Obviously you're not waiting 4 years for the perfect play, and you're not training years, and you don't, have your whole town and friends and family behind you. I wouldn't be surprised if most friends and family think that penny stocks are a scam. So it's pretty much just you. But I will say that if you think of yourself like an athlete and you train day after day, and you look back at the past and you look at the present, you get better prepared for the next event, which is the next great trade. Lesson number 3, when there are no good setups, sit on the sidelines. Right now, I have 0 positions, okay, in my short-term account. I have long-term accounts, they're different. But short-term, we're just not seeing the huge spikes. So I'll tinker, I'll test, I'll experiment. I make the analogy that we're all scientists too. So we're always experimenting, but you really don't have to. You really can just sit on the sidelines now. You might miss 1 or 2 plays over the course of the week, but you're going to save yourself a lot of time and a lot of frustration. Learn to strike when there are a lot of plays. Get aggressive, bet bigger when there are a ton of plays, with these stock spikes when they can double or triple or quadruple in a day. That's when you really push it. When it's not happening, that's when you pull back. This is so tough for traders to comprehend, especially new traders, because we're trained to get paid like hourly or daily or weekly. It's weird if you put in like 5 hours of research and then you just don't trade. I mean, why'd you put in the 5 hours, right? Well, you have 2 accounts that you're growing, your monetary account and your knowledge account. And if you can't grow your monetary account when there's no great trade, grow your knowledge account and study and prepare and sit on the sidelines. Trust me, you will thank me over time, because there will be plenty of times when there are a ton of plays and you're not going to have time to study. You're not going to have time to prepare. You're not going to have time to go out with your friends, and you're going to feel guilty. So take advantage of this kind of off season right now and use it properly, especially tomorrow when the market is closed. You have all day to study. I have so many DVDs, video lessons, webinars. You Challenge students have webinars from me, Mark Crook, Tim Grattani, Tim Bowen. By the way, You Challenge students, Tim Grattani is giving a Q&A webinar on Tuesday, 4 to 6 p.m. So tune in for that. He's finally back. He was kind of homeless because of the storms in the Caribbean where he moved to. But now he's back in the Caribbean. Him and his family are safe, and he is back to doing webinars for You Challenge students. So get excited for that. But also, if you can't tune in, don't worry. There's over 50 plus archive webinars from Tim Grattani alone, and he is closing in on 6 million. He made roughly $500,000 in both December. What was it? Was it November and December? I believe November and December. $1 million in 2 months. And that was him striking when the market was hot. And it's beautiful. And the last lesson I want to close with is that sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. And this is a tough lesson where you always want to put your money to work. You're trying to grow it. But again, sometimes it's just not worth it. You don't need to waste a day trade. You don't need to waste time. You don't need to, waste effort on a subpar trade. You don't have to trade just to trade. Trade the addiction in for that of patience. Going back to lesson number 1 from this video. And this is not a fun video. I know it's probably going to get rated pretty low because everyone's like, shut up, Tim. Stop trying to explain it. Just give us plays. But this is the truth. You can try to trade. You can ignore my rules. You can ignore my lessons if you want. But trust me, your odds will be lower. Your frustration will be higher. And many people give up in times like these. We're like, I just don't get it. I don't see it. Yeah, because you're looking for something that's not there. You have to understand with penny stocks, it's different than trading Bitcoin or stocks like Amazon where you're just trading the volatility every day. With penny stocks, the key to really succeeding is waiting for those multi-day, multi-week setups. And we just haven't had that because the overall market has been getting crushed. So that's taken all the momentum and hype out of the market. It's fine. It's actually healthy for the overall market, but you have to recognize it. So if you understand these lessons, leave a comment underneath this video saying, I will be patient. Leave those 4 words. Make sure that you stick by them. Go study tomorrow. Enjoy the day off. And I'll see you guys in the chat room on Tuesday.